Call to order the August 26th meeting of the Zionsville Redevelopment Commission. First item on the agenda, per usual, are the consent agenda items of the monthly report, TIF report, approval and adoption of the meeting minutes from July 22nd, and claims for approval. Any questions or discussion on the consent agenda items?
Move to adopt the consent agenda items.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to the director's report. Deputy Mayor?
Just wanted to update on a couple of things related to Creekside. We are getting a presentation this morning, whether as it relates to Lot 3 and Lot 2. We are moving forward with Kreider and Kreider. They will be coming to Plan Commission here shortly as it relates to their building. We are going to be closing today on Lot 9, which will be Intelligent Living Solutions. So lots of great progress going on in Creekside. The other thing I wanted to update on is that the hotel study has commenced. They're doing some of their preliminary work. We did a kickoff call with them on August the 7th, and then they will be in town next week for a site visit. We've set up some meetings with both businesses, Discover Boone County, some other interested parties that can give some data and some background as it relates to drivers of demand for hotels here in Zionsville. So we hopefully will have a study end of September, maybe first part of October. So that's going along really well. Those are the main updates I have for today.
Great, thank you.
Do you have a question?
None for me.
I've got a quick question. Justin, I got 3 questions this week about the status of Hy-Vee. Do you know anything about that? Since we're here talking about the Redevelopment Commission, or maybe Zach?
There's no updates.
Okay.
I mean, we're still waiting to hear back from them. I mean,
When's the last time we've heard anything from them or the developer?
So
I believe
Plan Commission's heard from them, but they basically said they're still interested, they're still pursuing it. They have other initiatives that have taken priority.
and I think the mayor's maybe spoken with them in the past 60 days and said they still plan to move forward, that they were having trouble with costs and making the project work. So they were waiting for costs to come down.
Are we waiting for costs to come down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like rates?
But,
No, construction costs, labor, that sort of thing. So
Okay.
do we talk to Hy-Vee directly or do we talk to the developer?
It's likely the developer.
Do we know, remind me who that is?
I would have to look that up. I don't have that off the hand.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that was a cold call, so
No,
I didn't.
it's a
I was
fair
just
question.
kind of sitting here thinking about it because I got three questions this last week about, hey, what's going on with Hy-Vee? Like, we see Kroger moving forward, and is Hy-Vee going to still continue to come? So, like I said, last I heard, yes, but without any definitive plan right now, doesn't sound like.
the mayor's been told the same thing, yes. So, but
Okay.
don't have much more detail at this time, unfortunately.
Okay.
You want to bet on whether it happens?
No,
All right.
I'm not a betting man.
Any other questions? All right, moving on. Old business?
None?
None? All right. Fun stuff. New business. First, we have Creekside Lot 9, property transfer resolution documents.
Yes, I'm going to speak about them probably in tandem, but I think they should probably be voted on separately. Again, these documents are for the closing of Lot 9 for Intelligent Living Solutions. The first one is more specific to the property itself. The second one is specific to the closing funds and how they'll be deposited.
So we can take questions, discussions on both, but we'll
Correct.
vote on them
And then I think it'd be
individually.
best to vote them on them separately.
Yeah. So, any questions, discussion on 5A and B?
The one we have to do the road reconfiguration,
That's correct,
is that in
yes.
process and everything's okay?
Yeah, so that'll be next summer in conjunction with, we found some efficiencies by doing it in conjunction with a resurfacing of 106th Street, but yes.
And will the RDC appropriate funds to DPW for that, or I forget how we discussed how that financing portion will work.
You remind me, Zach, how we had that drafted in the development agreement?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's specifically in the development agreement how we would organize that, but my plan currently is, design is gonna start in October on Lance's team. And so they'll probably have funding before the end of the year. We can probably try to bake it into our budgeting cycle. So that way, when we approve our budget later this year, it'll already be part of that discussion. Or at least we'll have something in the realm to have it allocated and
Okay.
appropriated.
But working with Lance and
Yeah.
his team to figure out what's the best bucket and the best way to fill that up.
Yeah, so it'll come out of the Creekside Corporate Parks funds, most likely, and we'll just appropriate it out of there.
Okay. Got it. Good question, thank you. Well, I'm excited for Lot 9, excited for progress, so I'm very supportive of this. And whenever you're ready for a motion, I'm ready to make one.
I'll just say they're excited to move forward, already asking about building permits, and I think as soon as we close, they're going to be seeking building permits and ready to move, so.
Any other questions before we recognize Vice President Norris's motion? All right. Having a motion to, we'll start with the property transfer resolution. We have a motion to approve, like I said, from Vice President Norris. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to 5B, the deposit resolution. Having already
Yeah, I'll go.
open for discussion, we'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we got a motion, a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to 5C, this will be Lot 3 in Creekside, Jaffe Realty Company, project presentation. I believe we discussed this in the meeting in June or July. So this is to come back and, now that it's advancing, to present a detailed presentation for the committee. Bishop?
Yes, and just to recap, we approved the signature of an LOI, and there was a little bit of design work and some scheduling that allowed us to come to this meeting as opposed to the last meeting. So with that, I'll hand it over to Adam Collins on behalf of Jaffe Realty Company to talk about their development plan.
Okay, small win for me this morning. Adam Collins with Wallach, Summers, and Haas, representing the development team. Thank you to Justin for giving us the opportunity to come talk, and to the commissioners. I think, originally this had been scheduled for July, but the timing was difficult for us, so appreciate the opportunity to come in here and discuss today. I want to just give you a brief overview of development team, project site, the project, what the plans are, timeline, as we go forward here. So if you look at this development team, Jaffe Realty Company, Mark Jaffe here with us today. Mark has 46 years of experience in the industry in a combination of roles, brokerage, development, and others. But he's brokered over $400 million in projects and developed over $250 million. And I think that brokerage experience is really kind of critical as we're talking about today too, because a lot of what really makes for a quality project here is attracting the right tenant, and that's something that Mark's demonstrated the ability to do in spades. We also have Chris Lake with Delve Architecture. Delve, prominent architecture firm throughout the metro, has done a lot of work, I think even in Zionsville as well, similar projects. So a lot of experience there. On the construction side, still some work to lock this in, but at this point, we think it's going to be Garmon Construction, who's going to be the construction partner there, and then our firm doing legal. But the purpose to just roll through this is to say it's a team with a lot of experience, capacity, similar projects, ability to pull this off, and hopefully confidence from the town and the commission in its ability to do so. In terms of the project site, I'm sorry, Chris gave me a really great image, and when you have the lawyers here, they can't do always a great job of putting it in a presentation. But this is just to give you an idea of roughly where this sits in the Creekside spot. And really, what we're talking about here is Lot 3, and the building is right here in the corner. So I just want to give an overview of where the site's located so we had some context for the project we're considering there. Currently, as it stands, we're looking at a 2-story building that includes approximately 20,000 square feet, 10,000 feet per floor, commercial office building, estimated completion date, 24 months from closing on the land acquisition. So, we think there's a lot of time there. It could obviously happen faster, but that bakes in sufficient time for the developer to finish the design, get the project actually constructed, and then work with the tenant on tenant build-out. Total project investments approximately $10 to $12 million. Again, unlike some other folks, we're not waiting for construction costs to go down. I think they're probably only going one way, and that's flatten up. But I think Mark's got an idea of roughly where that building comes in, and again, that's where we're targeting. Estimated annual new property taxes paid. This is I would say really a swag at this point, $125,000 annually, but that just gives some order of magnitude really in terms of what additional revenue would be accruing to the town upon the project being completed. Proposed tenant mix. Mark has a couple different projects he's looking at in Zionsville, and both have, I think, are oversubscribed in terms of tenant demand. But what we're looking at this facility is some sort of medical office user, potentially one, potentially two. So it could be owner-occupied, it could be a dual tenant kind of lease facility, and there really be some more detail to come there as we get this completed. But it's going to provide new high-paying jobs, be new to Zionsville, and also a quality development that really meets what we're seeing not only in Creekside but what we think the community demands as well. To give you an idea of what that looks like, I mean, and I'm not going to do anywhere near the justice that Chris would do to something like this, but just precedent imagery to give you an idea of what the inspiration was for the design, the kind of project, the look and feel that they're looking to deliver for the site, which I think is, not nearly as what one would expect as kind of your typical office building. So I think they've been really aggressive in determining what the potential images could be here, and this is what we've seen in terms of a project rendering. This is what at least has been put together preliminarily as we look. Could be some change as we get in terms of how the building's laid out, specific tenants, things like that. But again, just meant to give you an image or an idea of kind of where we are today as it relates to the particular project. Schedule, closing, so max 6 to 7 months from PSA execution. I mean, we haven't started the due diligence process on our end, so really what we're trying to tie up here is a handful of things. Your traditional due diligence, environmental, understanding where the utilities are, all of those pieces. But then also that gives Mark some time to start to line up his financing, and then also work on his tenant kind of confirmation as well. So when we close, we're really ready to step off, begin construction on the project. Tenants will be identified by closing. Mark thinks 120 days. We'll have confirmation of the parties we want to move forward with at this site. We'll be locked in, ready to go, and we'll start designing to their specific requirements. Approximately 4 to 6 months for design, 14 to 18 months for construction. That's full build out. Again, a little bit to be determined here, whether it's full tenant build out by Mark and the team, or whether it's just core and shell and the tenant's finished. A lot of that will depend upon ultimately the structure we select. We want to give just an overview of the proposed purchase terms. No, this is something you guys have in the LOI, but purchase price $156,000, $15,000 down in escrow, 180 days for us to perform due diligence, 30 days from there to get to closing. And I think, just to say, like everybody else, we have to have the time in order to do the work. But, what we're seeing more and more is urge to get closed quickly, just given the fact that things are not getting any cheaper. And unless you have a crystal ball on rates, it's hard to determine where that's headed either. So, I think as we look at some of the other projects we've worked on, Mark's been, aggressive to try to push those forward, and we'd expect the same thing here. Cost, just noting it, developer agreed to reimburse costs up to $25,000 and incurred with the transaction itself. So it's just an additional piece that the town required and the developer was happy to provide. So with that, that's really what we had. Happy to answer any questions. Appreciate the time today. Any questions you have, we have the team here, so happy to address any you have.
Thank you, good presentation. Any questions? I mean, a lot of this was what we talked about as part of the LOI signing, so appreciate, making it public and looking forward to moving forward with it. So, questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a couple of TIF requests. So 5D is the TIF draw request process amendment. So I guess this isn't an actual request.
I'll just talk about D&E, just, again, maybe together for context sake, and then approve them separately. But we have another draw request for E, and then we have these periodically. And I think just for the sake of efficiency, we've worked with our Chief Legal Counsel, John Oberlander, to draft an amendment that allows the RDC president to approve those, subject to approval from Chief Legal Counsel and the town's municipal advisor. Just trying to make it a little bit smoother. Again, these come with some regularity, so the thought was to just add a little bit of efficiency in that regard. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Questions, concerns, discussion on this? I think, fair to say, we wouldn't be the only community who handles it this way. It's pretty common.
I think that's correct. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, so.
Yeah, and it's just the bond disbursement would just be at the end of, right, would just be him, basically after, it's already gone through the whole schedule. approval
Correct.
process.
There's nothing
Yeah.
discretionary.
It's
It's
the
gone
monthly
through all the
process.
public approval processes prior, and this is just really just a disbursement.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
it's basically what we're contractually obligated to do anyway, so just.
Yes.
Might as well do it.
And
Okay.
It's all dollars, it's not a threshold that requires, full commission approval. It's any,
Correct, because by the terms of the bond agreement, we're obligated regardless. So I think it's not necessarily, it's sort of a binary, I think, decision.
They still have to provide the backup for it, and then
you're going to be tracking
legal
that in a
counsel.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, well, I know it'll be me, but we get very many of these.
Yeah, I'm supportive.
Supportive
some-
enough to make a motion, or?
Is there a mechanism to report back, like, with any regularity of what's been done?
I think so. I think we could agree to, at the following meeting, if a disbursement occurs, that we could put it in the packet for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can include it in the consent agenda or at the other items, just to be like, FYI, this occurred.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
I just made that commitment, Zach. Can you write that down so we remember? But
Thank
yes,
you.
I think that's something we can definitely do. Yep.
Thanks, Zach.
No problem.
Thank you. Are you ready for a motion?
Any other questions? I think we are.
Okay, I will move to approve there's no resolution number here, so I'll go ahead and say it. I will move to approve the resolution authorizing the president of the Zionsville Redevelopment Commission to approve TIF bond disbursement requests on behalf of the commission.
I'll second.
Having hearing a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. And now we'll get to an actual request, and this is for Wild Air Phase 1, draw request number 3.
Yes. Again, this is a standard draw request. This is their third one, and just need approval. And after this meeting, it will be done by the RDC president and then included in the packet thereafter.
So this would be an example, Justin, of one where we would just,
Old way.
yeah, we would just give the.
This will be the last one done under the old way, right?
Yeah, I guess technically we just approved it such that we could, but I think
That's
since
true.
it's on the
That's
agenda.
true. Yeah, because of the order you had them in, I thought that was intentional, but.
That's true.
Well, I will say, so we were still drafting the process amendment, and we weren't sure if we were going to get it on this agenda, so I think we had this on there, but I think just because it's on the agenda, I think it'd probably be better to
Old
vote
time's
on it.
sake, let's.
Yeah.
Is everything, just so I know, is everything on Wild Air going as planned and everything's
Sure looks like
progressing?
it driving
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, it's
They're
moving
moving very
quickly,
quickly.
yes.
If you can
They're
drive
moving
by.
pretty quick, so kudos to them for that.
Yeah, almost
Seem to
all
be
of their
anyway.
multifamily buildings are going up.
Yeah.
And then when will the roundabouts be done? Do you know?
I'm not sure about that schedule. I'll have to touch base with their team or Lance to see if they have that lined up yet.
But am I correct that the road, the
Closing down
the
completely.
closures have been related to the construction of the roundabout?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Great.
Any other questions? All right, one final time, can I get a motion to approve the TIF draw request for Wild Air?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Hearing a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. All right. Moving on to other business. Finance Committee. Anything
Nothing to report that I know of.
Standard claims and first payment for the hotel study, which was approved. So nothing other than,
Great. Governance Committee, I don't believe there's anything to report from that.
Other than
Vice President?
just the president of the Redevelopment Commission will now be able to execute TIF bond disbursement resolutions. That's the change.
We finally had something to say to report. Zionsville CDC with Commissioner Vaughn not here. Are you going to speak to it, or are we just going to pass till the next meeting? Or
He sent an email saying that there were no substantive updates from the CDC.
Yep, they did not meet this month. We're probably going to start budgeting next month to be prepared because we have to get budgets out by November 1st. So we at least want to start that process. But other than that, no major updates.
okay, great. All right, before I accept the motion to adjourn, does anyone else have anything they want to discuss while we're here? All right. Is there then?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, is there a second? Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. We'll see you on the September 23rd.